RJG The Hub. How to add a mold to the hub. In this video, we will go through the process of adding a new mold to the hub database. When performing this action on your own, it can be helpful to have any related process or setup sheets available that could contain the information required. To begin to add a mold to the hub, sign into the system with your username and password. From the main screen of the hub, select the three-line menu option in the upper left of the screen. From the list of options that appear, select Process Development. From the Process Development dashboard, select Molds from the menu options on the left side of the screen. At the main Molds page, we can see a list of the molds that have been established within the hub. We can select any existing mold's name to view the details regarding that mold. For example, let's take a look at the mold, Tencel. Here, we can see the details that have been added for this mold. There is the option to edit any of the details by selecting the Edit button. For our example, we will be creating a new mold, so to get back to the main mold section, we will select Close, located at the bottom left of this mold record. To begin to add a new mold, we will select Create a new mold at the upper right of the screen. At the new mold entry page, we can see the fields for the information that can be entered to create a new mold in the hub. The sections can be scrolled to or selected from the list on the left side of the page and include mold details, parts, processes, and revision history. Any fields outlined in red are required to save the mold. Fields that are outlined in yellow have asterisks next to the field name and are required for using process transfer features. Additionally, you can select any information icon to view a visual representation of the value that field requires. We will start entering the mold details for our example by selecting the field next to name. And for our example mold's name, we will type A-box 1. Then, we will select the field next to serial number. And there we will type our example mold's serial number, A1234. The Created By field will populate after saving the mold. Next, we will enter the number of cavities in our example mold by selecting the field next to cavities and typing the number 4. After the number of cavities is entered, the cavity name section will appear below the mold details. Each cavity defaults to a number for identification, but can be edited by selecting the field next to the cavity and typing a different name. For our example, we will keep the cavity numbers and continue entering mold details by selecting the field next to die height. And since our example die height is 18 inches, we will type 18. Then, we will choose the units by selecting the arrow next to the field. To reveal the drop-down options for units, where we will select IN for inches. We will continue to add the information for our mold example, including die length, die width, and minimum mold open. With the mold details section filled in, we will move on to the knockout pattern section. Here, to view the options available, we will select the arrow on the field next to knockout standard. From the drop-down list that appears, for our example, we will choose center. With the center knockout standard, we see that the option appears to enter the diameter, which we will enter as 1 inch, for our example. The mirror option is only available to be selected for the SPI, Society of Plastics Industry, and Euromap options, where you can select to duplicate symmetrically located knockout patterns after entering them. Entering part details is optional when creating a new mold. However, in order to use the process transfer or part sampling features in the hub, it is required to select an existing part and enter the details, or create a part-in-part variance. For our example, we will select a part that currently exists within the hub by selecting the arrow next to the part field. And we will select the part, Gizmo 10-B. Then, we will enter the information regarding the part as it relates to this new mold for our example, including part surface area. This is the part surface area, minus applicable runners. Total part volume. In runner volume. For our example, we have a hot runner system, so this will be 0. Please note, if the runner volume is 0, the units must also be selected to satisfy the requirements for using process transfer features. With all of the mold information filled in, including portions that relate to process transfer options, we will select Save. After saving the new mold, we are brought to the list of molds saved in the hub, where we can see the mold that was just created, A-Box 1. If we select the mold's name, we can see the information saved for that mold record. From here, we can select Edit to make changes to this mold, or Close to exit this file. Thank you for watching this video regarding the hub, how to add a mold to the hub. For further assistance, please refer to the user guide, or contact our customer support department at support@rjginc.com, or by calling 1-800-472-0566.